I remember roughly around the time that I woke up. I think it was around 9:30ish in the morning. Dad, shortly thereafterward, made some coffee for me. It's kind of like a chocolate-dipped ice cream cone. On the rare times that Harrison has the dessert cooler open, I tend to eat whatever I pick up there first, because ice cream melts when left out in room temperature. My phone told me shortly before I made the trip to Harrison Dining Hall, as I typically do at 7 p.m., my phone told me that it was about 46 to 48 degrees Fahrenheit. Which was warm enough for me to decide I didn't need to put on gloves, but I still packed them in that mask bag. In case I later decided that I did need my gloves. And I also packed my phone in there. In case because it's a good, an important rule of safety is to, if you have a phone, always bring it with you. So if you get into a pickle or a jam, you can call for help either by emergency services or someone you trust. This is something I do roughly every 3 hours, although obviously there are some buildings with longer cycles than this, such as the chess set. And this is currently the only building I have that produces rune shards. My hand has this marker on it because in the time before Dad drove me back to my dorm in Brockport, he in Brockport, I worked on a styrofoam block drawing of Superman. And I had finished it to about 60% of the way, getting to the point where all I had left to do was color in the blue parts, which is primarily the chest, arms, and legs areas. And I had already done everything else. And I partially did the Superman design blind, meaning without the aid of an image of Superman, and partially based it off of how Superman looked, I believe, in the 1990s, based off of a series of anti-smoking PSAs they did of Superman, I think, back in that time. And also, hey, I just noticed they ended that winter effect. They switched up how you enter and move around in Harrison Dining Hall. In order to make it, in my opinion, more efficient. Sure, I had to go out of my way a bit when entering Harrison Dining Hall via a flight of stairs up, but once I had swiped in, I no longer had to go out of my way within Harrison Dining Hall itself. It was just like back in my sophomore year, because I think in my freshman year I primarily went to Brockway, because back in my freshman year I was living in Dobson. And they didn't have any queso or cheese sauce to go with the Bolivian pretzel sticks, but they're still pretty good. I'm on my 72nd task set. I'm currently scouting to take care of this task right over here. I'm on the tier 9 of provinces, so I just realized I'm on the verge of having an oversupply on my supplies due to all the times I did those supply boosting enchantments during the whole journey. Alright, The Chariots of the Dwarven Brewery. Light Melee Battalion. I spent some time working on the 99th in Hamming. Got some ancient knowledge and enough flags to ultimately get some runes, although at this point I currently have every ancient wonder that I've unlocked built. The 14% chance. Although there's currently a chance that that chest in particular will give me knowledge points. At this point, I wish the wholesaler would allow me to sell supplies and coins for settlement resources. Excuse me, or maybe I could trade gold and supplies. Excuse me, for settlement resources. Because this is a precarious spot to be in. Considering how actually doing that would require a pretty powerful portal goods booster or instant. Now, those of which I do have. Might not be a good idea, though. I tend to produce copper faster than I produce granite. I'm in a bit of a tough spot. If I get a task to activate 2 technologies, I'll be in serious trouble. I'm going to invest what I have into the Endless Excavation Ancient Wonder. There was some point while I was working on the 99th Dan Hammy today in which I resorted to briefly showing the trunk of the Stick Babe character. In order to show that she, as a resident of the trailer park community, owned a firearm, of which I ultimately settled with a Marlin 1980 4570. And some essential oils, along with almond oil, half gallon, and some small containers of the other essential oils. In order to explain an earlier plot point from the very last episode, which I finished roughly a year ago. Although, earlier in the episode I had depicted an open trunk, and for obvious reasons, as the car was moving at the time for the scene I was working on, the trunk obviously could not be open. So to depict a closed trunk, I used the prop that I'd put over every scene in order to depict nighttime. I pasted it on there twice. Oh, the less expensive chest actually has a higher chance of giving, the daily exclusive. This one's got the very best chance. Some more ancient knowledge points. Also, there was a period of time in which that same series of shape props I used to depict the Stick Babe's figure, at some point I had to do a side view, which took a lot of tries to get exactly right. And then after that, I ultimately decided to directly depict her driving into the trailer park community by having her pass by what will ultimately turn out to be the trailer park, the trailer that Ginger and Kent and Dan Hamming live in. Although, to complete the scene, I ultimately had to expand it a bit due to the amount of motion required in order to depict the driving into the trailer park community part. I think shortly after I had the coffee, maybe around 10 a.m., I had a strawberry Danish. Although these Danishes weren't as good compared to the ones from Wegmans. I believe Dad got them from Tops. I think that's what he said. These supplies of crystals and silk. Oh. Yeah, I recently placed some trade offers, so hopefully I'll be able to negotiate my way through the encounters when the scouting is done, or maybe I'll just use some time boosters. I think I'm pretty much going to make it a rule to not use any enchantments or instants, along with my already established rule of not buying any knowledge points outside of an evolvable building event. This broccoli tastes good and it's quite healthy. Some coin rings. Hey, if you get far enough, they actually give you a second evolvable building. Oh my, 14 knowledge points. That'll probably be enough. Now I just need one more in order to have enough research to upgrade the endless excavation to level 2. Excuse me. Which will slightly increase the rate at which I produce supplies, which would help to make up for when I replaced a building that primarily produced supplies for a building that primarily produces magic dust. I got it at last. I'm pretty sure the next daily exclusive will be the last one. I'm pretty sure I can wait 3 hours to evolve the Everblossom Sleigh so that I don't miss out on some valuable rewards. And my plans are, after this, I think I'll work on the 99 Dan Hamming some more. And I'll work on some college assignments. Get some things done that I need to get done for my college classes. Even though VoiceForge is gone mobile only, I was able to still have access to the VoiceForge voices through a pretty long process that involved me first downloading the VoiceForge app and then another app, putting the video to my Google Drive account. Excuse me. The video where I found, the YouTube video where I found the method, oddly enough, was deleted by the uploader at some point while I was watching it. After a lengthy hiatus, so that I could, after resolving myself to finish the method, during which I decided not to change the volume of the voice. I know that within a closed RV, the voice wouldn't be heard from outside, but to try to acknowledge that, I did not attempt to decrease the volume of the voice in any way. The video I watched recommended GU Recorder, though personally I found X Recorder, a different screen recording app that I found through a bit of my own research after I found that I think GU Recorder caused a bit of audio compression. I found X Recorder to be better because it allowed me to take 1080p videos max for the trial version, whereas GU Recorder only allowed a max of 720p. I think this is the brisk beef, Byron sauce or bourbon sauce, something to that effect. I'm just currently thinking that the video quality when taken through these screen recording apps has something to do with the rate of audio compression. The lower the video quality, the more audio compression will occur. That's my current line of thinking. And it will remain so until I encounter some evidence against that.